Tonight, the Western Door Paranormal team heads to historic Palmyra, New York to investigate the historic Palmyra Historical Museum.
Hey!
Okay.
Okay, everybody, in case you don't know, I am Bonnie Hayes, and I'm the Executive Director of Historic Palmyra. And Historic Palmyra owns 5 amazing museums. Tonight, you're going to go through 2 of them. You're going to go through the Palmyra Historical Museum, which is where we are right now. Then we're going to go to the William Phelps General Store, which is amazing. All of our rooms here are themed, and which makes it easy if you write things down, if you want to know where you were when you heard a noise. This is our fire and our police room. This part of the building from here forward is 1898. The part you came in is 1826, and it was built for the canal. And Palmyra has always been a very active, busy place, kind of like a big city in a little village. So that's the way it is. So follow me on in here, everybody. Okay, this is the parlor, or the bar, or the front room. You can call it whatever you want. It was actually a bar. This was built in 1898. The bartender walked over here. When you get a chance, you should see it. There's a big ridge in the floor. Every single thing in this building has been donated. The only thing original to the building is the building itself, which is pretty neat. The building itself, original tin ceilings, original unusual wainscoting on the walls, and then of course the floor with a ridge in it where the bartenders walked. This served as a bar almost till 1950s. And so it was a very active place. Now the other thing about this building is that it was moved here. This is 132 Market Street, and you'll want to remember that number because 132 Market Street was the site of the worst fire ever in Wayne County, where 7 people died. There was a mother who was only 25 and her 6 children from 8 years old to almost 2. And their house was 132 Market Street. Now there were 3 buildings, 3 small houses in this area. This building is so large that it took at least 2.5 of those lots. And it was moved from William Street, which is across 1 block, all in one piece, to save it from being torn down by urban renewal. And that was between 1964 and 1976. So in 1976, this building was moved over here. The history of the land has followed is in the building. The history of the building is in the building, and all the stuff is here. And there's residue. We have intelligent haunts. We have residual activity. We have, what other kind is there? Isn't that like it?
That's it. You got
Okay.
intelligent and residual.
That's it. So, yeah. It's pretty amazing. You'll hear, in here, we have a fella that sits over here. His name is James. He was hitting somebody on the head over here last night, and James was stabbed in a bar fight. We found that out because someone told us. Have I ever seen James? No, but I believe he's there. He's only 23, so, and I hear he's good looking.
Do you have a last name or no?
I have no last name. All I know is he likes to be called James. He doesn't want to be called Jim. And he moves around, but he will talk. And he'll say he's here and different things. EVPs is the area where we shine. We do have photographs taken here in all kinds of places, but you know, they're not as easy to get as many other things. You know, the EVPs are really great. We have children, lots of children. We have adults. We have bar patrons. And we have hotel patrons, because upstairs was hotel and boarding house. Okay? So let's move on. Any questions?
No, you're doing a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you so much, John.
Chunk.
Chunk. Okay, Chunk. All right. I watch the guys that go to the storage places, and the one guy's name is Ton. And it made me think of Ton back there. Anyway, okay. This is set up like a bedroom. It is not, or wasn't originally, a bedroom. It is a parlor for the gentlemen guests. It's off the stairway, which go to the hotel rooms, and it's off the bar. And the women couldn't come in here. The ladies couldn't come in here. The ladies would wait in the, where we call the fire room. That was a parlor for the ladies. So if you came with your husbands or boyfriends and they went to the bar, you had to sit in there and wait. I wouldn't have come, but anyway, this was where there were women in here, but they weren't necessarily ladies. Okay, now we're going upstairs. All right. This is the upstairs of the Palmyra Historical Museum. This is the old section from 1826. This is the new section from 1898. Always watch for orange tape. You can step up or step down. This railing right here, close to here. Be careful of this, okay? There are chairs in different places. We have folding chairs. You can move them and sit. All of our rooms up here are themed. We'll go down the new section first. This is the Revolutionary War, Civil War room. And we have many, many artifacts. They're amazing. There's a couple of military fellas in here, and they may talk to you, and they may not. I must tell you, I've seen one, but I saw him in the reflection of their picture on the wall. And I was standing right there, and I saw him standing like back here. And of course you're looking and you say, I'm not seeing anything. What is that? Who is that with that hat on? And then of course you turned around, nothing there. But so it was kind of weird. Very interesting. I don't much care to see things because I do this because it's for the museums. I'm not necessarily a ghost hunter, but I do hunt with our guests if they want me to. Okay, so this is our tool room. This is our attic. I'll take you there later. This is our current military room from World War I up to today. Don't know if anybody's ever got any activity in here, but I wouldn't be surprised that there's a lot of residual stuff in there. Okay, now this is our kitchen room. This lady looks really creepy in the dark. We have mannequins and dolls. I'm warning you all. Some people get freaked out, but I will try to tell you where they are. Okay, so that you don't get bothered by it. All right, come in here. This is our morning room, or we call it our ladies' room. And the theme of this year is they're waiting for men to come home from war, or they're waiting for word. So what do the women do right from the Revolution up to today? They listen for the radio. They may sew a flag like Betsy Ross did. They may do samplers. They may make wreaths. They may write letters or listen to the radio. So that's kind of what we have in here. And it's kind of neat stuff. And this is a grave box. That is, 2 children died, the Galloway children. And that is an old Quaker tradition. And it's from 1828. And that's what people did when they wanted to remember people and memorialize them. Like today when we put things at a tragic site. Same thing. And we do it because they did it in 1828. Come on in here. This is our schoolroom. Okay.
I'm about air conditioner.
This is our schoolroom. The children like to play in here. They're not in here much I imagine they figure that now they're done with school, so they don't have to be in here. But every once in a while it gets pretty active in here. And you'll see all this stuff around here. These big pictures are from senior classes. This is what they do with them when your senior class gives something. They end up in the museum. To us, we treasure them. And now they're all up on the walls. Okay, come on this way. Are you ready? Oh, dolls and toys. Come on in here, gang. Okay, this chair is a sittable chair. You may sit in this chair. These are dolls and toys. The children, there are girl children typically in here, but you can find anybody in any room. There's a Sarah in here, a Susan, and a Sharon. Susan and Sharon were from the fire. Sarah, I have no clue where she's from, but she is in here, and I've heard her say, Sarah. So I know that she's in here, unless she was just making the name up, I don't know. So anyway, you'll see all kinds of things in here that everybody recognizes something in this room. And that's what we like to do, is we show stuff, not just 100 years old, but stuff like Harry Potter, dinosaurs, the different dolls. Yeah, so you recognize them. So history is not a far away thing. It happens every day. And that's what we like to show. Okay, now you're going to see toys in odd places, like these things. People bring them to the children. They bring we have stockings up. People bring presents for them. And then we come up here and we unwrap them with them and leave their toys wherever they fall. And the kids come up and play with them. These are some of our older, fancier dolls. And we have a Raggedy Ann and Andy section. We have just all kinds of cool things. If you like dolls, you'll love this. If they freak you out, these two girls on the left side will freak you out. But if you saw Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Lady Elaine looks just like that, except this one doesn't have that huge nose. Now the one on the far left is a metalhead, and she has pointy teeth. How about that one?
Oh my God.
I know, it's cool. Come on this way. All right. Always watch the sides because we do have things hanging. Kitchen room. We're going to go up in the attic. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Come on up here. It's huge, isn't it? I need a flashlight because all of our lights
I got
are
one.
off.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, come on with me because our lights are off and we'll have to turn one on. Okay, thank you. All right, watch yourself up here. Watch your step. Okay? It's a little warm, but it's summer and it's in the attic. Okay, got it? All right, now get a light on. You got it? Okay. There, one light. Okay? We got a couple of lights on here. And this is our attic. Oh, it doesn't. Well, okay, here's your flashlight. Thank you so much. Okay, this is the attic. Always stay in the center area. Do you feel weird up here? Mm-hmm. Well,
I feel like a little suffocation there.
it's heavy, isn't it? Yeah. It's a clean attic. We've been cleaning it. There are chairs down here. You can sit here. We do have a gravestone. Frank Dunning gravestone right there. I always suggest you stay in the center part, then you won't trip over anything. There's two fellas up here. They spoke to one of them last night. If you want me to tell you who they are, I will.
You have a couple of them.
Oh yeah, we have one broken and one complete. But this is a big attic, and there's lots of activity up here. If there's going to be activity, it just depends. It's like fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is a cool place. This room in here is where we keep our clothing. and there's collections. You can go around there. The lights, there's a switch I'll show you. You can turn the fans right off. We leave them on until we get ready to hunt because it is warm up here.
No, it's very warm up here.
Yeah, so, but when you're sitting, you know, and these chairs are out.
Back to the guys. What were their names?
The two guys up here, one is Henry, they talked to him last night, and one is Walter.
Henry.
And there were children up here last night, and the children will go anywhere and they'll play.
Walter. Henry.
Okay? So, it is warm, and we're all gathered, but see, now you get here, and it's much better. So, it just, when we're gathered all there, it's, now I'm going to turn this light off, so go on down, and I'll turn this little light off here. There's supposed to be a working girl right here, too, and she may push the fellas.
Oh, okay.
I don't know her name. Annie is one of the girls. We were talking to a few of them last night. So, on in here. And there's more chairs behind that door so that you can pull them in here and sit. Okay? More folding chairs. We're featuring the Civil War, 150 years. We have things from Gettysburg.
Sweet.
These are from 3 days after the battle. Then we have two fellas that died at Gettysburg. One was 17 and one was 23. And we have the 33rd Regiment, the 111th Regiment, and their stuff is in here. We have cannonballs, bullet makers, all kinds of great stuff in here. Okay, we're very, very military in Palmyra. So, and that's the mother of Sir Winston Churchill. Her parents are the ones that were married in the Presbyterian Church. Her name is Jenny Jerome. Okay, now, Steve, want to get the light? Sure. Thanks. Okay, so, let's go. Now, I'm not going to take everybody in the basement at once, just because it's too difficult. Okay? You warm? This is the switch.
Okay.
The fans are off.
Okay.
And then no lights will go on, but I'll leave the fans on.
Okay.
Okay? Just to let you know. Now it's much cooler down here, isn't it? Okay. So that's our attic. And one of the other reasons it's so warm up there is because the old section, which we're going to go into right now, has its own attic. But they're just...
Divided.
And they're just beams. It's not a full attic, but it's warm, and the hot air comes out. So, okay, guys, you ready? Here we go. To the left. Has anybody felt anything yet? Anybody touching them?
Yeah, I felt something.
Did you? Watch your stairs. I had somebody last night. I looked and they were going, and I said, "Oh my God, stop my heart." Oh, it was really horrible. Okay, this is the original bathroom for this part of it. The bathroom for this part was an outhouse. Okay, now we do have an air conditioner down here. I'd like you to come into this room and see what you think about this room. Come on in this room. This is made up like a doctor's room.
A hospital?
How do you feel in this room?
It's a little...
Tension, a little bit of nervous. People are sitting here waiting for diagnoses or getting checked. Probably nervous.
A little heavy.
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 Yeah.
Very
Heavy in here. If you come up this way a
Yes,
little
I
bit.
can feel it right here.
Can you
It's
feel
very
it there?
heavy. Yeah.
Now there's also some kind of energy, and it won't make K2 meters go off, but if you've been to Iron Island, you know when you sit around the table,
I felt
there's
it
an
right here.
energy. It's in here as well. It's like, it makes you tingle. Do you feel it?
Actually, it feels like a little wobbly. I don't know if you
Yes.
feel the wobbly.
Yes.
A vortex. That's what it is, kind of a vortex.
And you may feel, women feel sick, men feel sad. It's just a very
heavier breathing or
oppressive room. So this is a very oppressive room. This was not a doctor's room. The stuff is from the doctor. This is room 21. When we started feeling weird in here, there's a grumpy old man supposed to be in here, and a doctor. And I think doctor came with some of the stuff that's in here, okay? So, and you know, if anybody wanted to move a fan or anywhere, but it's not so good for your evidence,
Right, it's
so
not. We can deal with what we have.
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of these cool things are tools from the doctor's office, which in themselves is scary.
What size is that needle, Chelsea?
Oh yeah.
Where?
That one right there. That's a needle.
Now
The
actually,
glass needle.
I hate needles.
yeah, this is, and actually what this really is an aspirator. Like if you get water on your knee, or if your lung is collapsed. They had that happen to me once. They take the needle and stick it in
It's a
you,
very long
and then
needle.
pull.
Oh, they drain, okay.
Oh my God, and then it goes in a tube, and it's horrible. This is a shot. Oh yeah. All right, it's okay. I don't have any needles in there. It's okay. And then there's some other torturous things in here. They're just weird. You know, you'll notice them if you're hanging out in here. Okay, so let's go to the right. And you'll see as soon as you come out, it's much lighter. Isn't it? Oh, I know, it was awful. In here, now this one was funny to me last night. This is our religious area. A lot of religions in Palmyra. Again, watch for
It
your
gives you like
orange.
almost butterflies.
You have butterflies in here.
Mm-hmm.
I felt real funny in here last night, and I'm not like sensitive, but the more I do this, the more I'm like must be open to things, I guess. But anyway, watch your step here, and then this is our organization room, and then that is our music room, and we have a mannequin here, and these are mummers' outfits. The mannequin's right to your right.
Beautiful
Yeah.
dresses.
Yeah, aren't those are costumes for a band, actually. So, and you can wander in here, always just watch your step, your flashlights, you know, hold them down, and you can carry chairs around, whatever. Sit on the floor. We keep it pretty clean in here. So, okay. Now this is our Catholic corner. This is a wonderful little place right here. It's like a little confessional. Everything in here's been like blessed major. Is really a lovely little room. It's one of my favorite areas. But, so this is like a little area that's kind of protected. But I'll tell you what, we've smelled incense in here. So I presume it's coming from that. Okay, come on down here. And that's a suite of rooms. And this is the 1826 part. This is the 1826 paint. Okay, come on down here. Now this door, they've been hearing slamming lately. And there's no door here, but this is the one they've been hearing slam. So that's kind of interesting. There's a little lump here. Okay, come on down here. This is our photographer room. The photographer room has amazing photographs. Anybody that loves photographs, if you go in there and look at them, they're absolutely incredible. The fella that did these won 8 world gold medals for his photographs. He was incredible. His name was George Elton. And also we have a fellow named D.J. Reed, and he did these paintings right here. A lot of really interesting people here in Palmyra. Okay, so this room is a cool place to sit. This room we see shadows, and the cat that has been seen on film came right through here. I don't think it's a cat. I thought it was a little spirit myself, because I'm beginning to think. You think it was a cat?
For sure.
Do you really?
I looked at that video 4 or 5 times.
Did you?
That is 100% a cat.
A cat?
All the way. All the way.
Well, it could be. I have never really seen cats in here. They're all over in the Phelps. But I thought maybe they take on funnier forms, or they're different, or they're myths, or they're something. So I thought, well, maybe it was something else.
I seen the 4 legs, the tail. I want to say it was a cat.
Okay, it was a cat.
But this is the hallway?
This is the hallway right here. The camera was right here. It came from that wall, and it went right into here. And this is exactly the hallway. And what I'm going to do too, guys, is I'm going to turn this air on a bit so that when it's cooler, and when we come back up, it'll be a little nicer.
Oh, I'm liking you more and more with that air.
This is the back stairway where people would come and go that worked here. The kitchen is down that stairway. And I'll show you where it is. We blocked this off because people will go down the stairs and fall for sure.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the creepiest sections. Now, if anybody were to get nervous, like Chelsea here. Is it Chelsea? Okay. Didn't know about the SEA. Chelsea. No?
No. Yeah, I
All right,
call it
in here.
Sophia.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, this light is not hooked up to the others. So if you were down here and something bothered you, you can always turn on a light. Light is your friend.
Yeah, it is.
Okay? And running is not your friend. Light is your friend. Okay? But this is our merchant room, guys. And this down here,
You need to remember late.
Chelsea, come in here, see what you think.
A little tight chested.
This is a very odd room. You'll get a headache, maybe. You'll feel tight. Yes.
Like I feel it right
Like
here.
it's hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Very much in here. I don't know why. I have no clue. But
More butterflies.
sometimes you just have to
Oh wait,
know.
yeah, it's the off balance too.
go out
Yeah.
and come back in or not come in anymore. It's up to you. But this is,
What happened in this room?
have no clue.
It's
The
very-
problem with
very
public
comfortable.
places, which this was, is that you don't know what happened here.
Yeah.
This was a bar. This was a boarding house. Probably after a while they didn't rent rooms by the night. They rented them by the hour. People were coming and going. You had no idea
You're right.
who was here. Nobody wanted you to know who was here. Okay? So, it wasn't a really great place. It was like a really seedy place. Like, not so hot place. Place you wouldn't go stay. Where you had to bring your own sheets.
A place of secrets.
Yeah, it was not a good place to stay. So,
Place of secrets.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Too
Okay,
many
got
kids
that,
around.
Zachary? Place of secrets. All right, and this is our Admiral William T. Sampson area. Admiral William T. led the Spanish-American War. He was the head of the Atlantic Fleet, and he was one of my favorite people. But he was born and raised in Palmyra. Right up there with Henry Wells started his business right here in Palmyra. And Winston Churchill's grandparents were married in our Presbyterian church.
Wow.
What the heck? Yeah. How cool is that?
Talk about a place that just draws people to it.
Oh my gosh, you bet. Well, come on down here now. Now we're done with this old section. We're going to go down and see the basement. And we'll go down and you guys down. Let's take maybe 5 people down now, and then the others can go in the basement. The basement's very interesting. The house that burned, it was called a flash fire. The house burned about 2:30 in the morning. It just burned from the back. The flames were everywhere. The only thing left in the house where the family died was a chimney. That was it. All of the ashes were buried in the basement. So you will see that. Now the stairway that you see in here is the stairway they used in my ghost story. The basement stairway. Okay, it really isn't a fallout shelter, and don't mix it up with a bathroom, because if you go right, you'll be in trouble. Okay, so there we go. All right.
Oh god.
Come on down here. Watch your heads. Heads and feet, and just be careful. It's a basement.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watch your step.
Watch your step. Now, K2s may go off here. This is where all the wiring ends up. The furnace is over there. Now, you see this right here? That's all the ash from the fire, right here.
Wow.
The whole house is buried down here.
I'm not even gonna probably go down.
Okay, so
Yeah.
these are luminaries for our cemetery tour. We put candles in them, and our guys didn't want to fill them anymore, so we just put them all here, okay? So now we're going to go this way. Watch your heads. Always watch your head. Very odd basement. They dug this out, and actually the ground level was, about up here. Now, come on with me here. Watch your heads again. Everything.
Yeah, you're good, you're
watch
jump.
out. Now, I only bring people down here for one reason, and that's because this is where they buried the whole house. It's all in here, the whole thing, everything. You'll see everything in here. Down here, you'll see all of this.
The ashes?
This is all from the house, buried in here. And the firemen,
Now, did they get all the bodies? But you said there might be some human ashes down here.
I would say that is possible. We were kind of making bigger spaces, and what I told them is that nothing can be dug without sifting.
Okay.
So just to make sure that, because anything found has to be taken care of
Right.
properly. But, yeah. So, and the whole thing it's all under here.
So the house was
Is-
here that burnt,
It was here, and they just buried it all.
and then they moved a house from William Street.
That house here, this building, they moved here,
So the museum was on William Street and it got moved here.
on top of this.
Well, it wasn't a museum back then. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
just
right,
making sure I get
exactly.
everything right. Sorry.
It
Yep.
was just the
No,
three
that's
houses
okay.
that got the flash fire.
That's, yep.
Right to the
and-
ground, nothing left but chimneys, and then they moved this museum right in the
Exactly.
exact spot where the houses were,
So there's
which is
No,
three houses
no,
burned.
actually,
Yeah, and that's where all the
chimney
hauntings are
is
coming from.
all bricks,
The three
and
houses
you'll
that
see-
burned.
See down there, shine your light.
and of course all the artifacts in the museum.
Over here.
Those,
Bring their own spirits
we
too.
had
Gotcha.
people that went through a period of time when they started saving bricks from any place they could find. Like houses they were going to tear down and they couldn't save the house. So they would bring all the bricks, and they're all over. It's an interesting concept. So now we're building walkways and we're building different things with the bricks. But so you can see where the house was buried. And anyway, that's it. But you will get K2 hits here because there's all this electric stuff.
Yeah.
And the furnace is here. Okay, right here is really, but yeah, it's a whole ridge here, and watch your heads. So this is the basement, and
This following VVP occurs while Bonnie is giving her speech about the pirate who built the tunnels in the basement. Now, a VVP stands for Video Voice Phenomenon, and when Bonnie actually mentions the tunnels, we get a mysterious unknown whisper that I couldn't make out, but it certainly didn't belong there. Give this a listen.
it's funny too. We have a tunnel here underneath this, and we had a pirate that lived across the street in 1820, and it said that he built tunnels, and of course. This is not supposed to be so low as this. It's supposed to be like that. And when you dig and people are walking back and forth, it settles, and I fell in. And then I took a hoe that we had down here and started going in. It was about 5 foot deep. And then it just kept going and going. So we filled it all with sand, and then we put these blocks, little bricks on it.
Smell
So
the burnt ashes.
You
Can you smell
can. You
them?
can still
Yeah,
smell the
you
burnt.
can.
Yes, absolutely you can.
And if you talk to the kids down here, they'll come down here. I think it must be sad for them, but they'll touch you and you'll feel them. But if you feel a spider web down here, it might be one. You know, just because it's
There's
a
one
basement. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a basement, and they're harmless, but they're everywhere. So they will touch your legs, and sometimes you'll see shadows in here. And you can walk in there and back in there, okay?
Okay.
And why all the sand is here, I think it's maybe how they put the fire out. For the smoldering. Because the luminaries are here because we use the sand. We were buying sand. And I said, why should we buy sand? We've got all the sand here. So now we have to have a whole new approach because we realized what we're doing. So anyway, watch your heads.
This concludes another amazing edition of Western Door Paranormal. The Palmyra Museum was an amazing place to investigate. Bonnie was a really good host, and travel into town when you do investigate this place because the pizza was amazing. Now, when we did the investigation, we had a lot of personal experiences, and we had a situation where a shadow person did appear. Although he didn't manifest himself on camera, The girls saw it, they felt this presence as it went from point A to point B. We tagged it and chased it, but we really couldn't find it. Now in the attic, we had a situation where we had the rapping and knocking going on. Of course, rapping and knocking is something that goes hand in hand with psychic phenomena. So it was an amazing case. We got some really good evidence on video. And we have some amazing pictures, which we're going to show you now. I recommend if you get a chance, contact Bonnie at the Palmyra Museum and reserve an investigation for yourself. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Plus they have a pretty cool bookshop in there too, where you can actually pick up things that you can use to ghost hunt on your own. So go ahead and check out these photos I'm going to show you. And don't forget, you can check out the Western Door Paranormal Facebook page. And of course, you can also drop me an email anytime at tonybu716@aol.com. Thank you for watching our show.